And in a few days, we're going to take you guys on a trip to an abandoned Jewish settlement in the middle of nowhere, 2.5 hours northeast of Saskatoon. So stay tuned.
And we're off to Edenbridge. Just doing a little pit stop in Milford, Saskatchewan. It's a small town that's known for grain production and apparently northern lights. And Edenbridge is not far from here.
Van Man, do we have a future in window washing?
And we have arrived at the synagogue. We're just kilometers from anything significant. So we're entering the part where the women would have been, above the men. The women's gallery it's called. Very interesting. So this building is over 100 years old. Ay, ay, ay. It's gross. So growing up as a kid in Israel, I grew up in a very secular family, and all my friends in school were doing their bar mitzvahs at age 13, and I was the only one who didn't because I wasn't encouraged to do so, and it just didn't even really occur to me because I just grew up in this very secular, non-religious family. And I've always kind of felt it to be a little hole, I guess, in my, like, I'm not a religious person, but I felt it to be a sort of a missing thing, something that I should have done. And just about a week or two ago, we were having Shabbat dinner at the rabbi's house, and somebody asked around, oh, did you have a bar mitzvah? Did you have one? And I was the only one who said, no, I haven't. And, you know, I felt a little bit kind of uncomfortable about it. And then, as we were talking about coming here, there's this joke that was made in the table, hey, why don't we do a bar mitzvah in the synagogue, you know, when we go there? And it started as a joke, and then it became kind of serious. And I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, why not? I felt kind of called to do that. So this is a bit of a personal thing for me as well. And what makes it interesting as well is that this synagogue has stopped being a synagogue, like an active service synagogue, in 1964. So this would make my bar mitzvah here, in my adult life, the first bar mitzvah in over 5 decades. Right, Rafi? I don't know how the settlers came here, but we are literally in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing around. It's just fields, empty fields. And the closest town was this Milford town, which is like not even that close here. Just coming here would have been a really arduous journey, and living here would have been a very isolated experience, especially 100 years ago. I can't even imagine. So this trail hopefully leads to the cemetery, which we want to check out. There's a Jewish cemetery here where all the pioneers of this colony are buried. We're in this forest clearing, It's kind of hidden and just very, very peaceful and calming. So we read in the plaque earlier that some of these graves are the first settlers that came to this colony. However, looking at the dates on a lot of these gravestones, it's apparent that, you know, a lot of them died way later. But yeah, there you go, 1938. That would have been a person in 1940. Those would have been the people, the original people who settled here. This reminds me actually of the cemetery we used to go to in Israel. A very like somber place, and was literally on the border with Lebanon. This place kind of reminds me of it actually. It's a bit just kind of like this anchor that brings up this memory from my childhood. So this is a Jewish custom to put stones on graves. You just take a stone and you put it on top of the grave. So I found this stone on the ground. Probably somebody put it there before. This is the gravestone in the corner here. And maybe the wind, strong wind blew it or something. So I'm just gonna put it back.
So we've just finished visiting the Jewish cemetery here in Edenbridge, the old colony, and we've given our respect to the past, to those who lived here and built this community. And now it's time to focus on the future. We're going to go to the synagogue, and we're going to celebrate the first Bar Mitzvah celebrated here in Edenbridge, Saskatchewan in the last 100 years for sure. Join us, L'chaim!